Yeah, my people. I hope you're all doing well today. I want to thank you for joining, wherever you're joining from. Today, we are going to be going very deep into some of these activities of the Fulanis, the killings and the brutality going on, and then exposing those who are behind it, and then also we shall be, talking also about the strategies we should adopt to be able to get these people, because it is very, very important that we continue to sensitize our people. Our people have been, most of our people are not really, concerned or really thinking very deep, about um, their the tactics they should use to keep themselves away from being killed. In our communities, we have lots of intelligent people, but over time, maybe because in the communities we lots of intelligence programs are not going on, people are not able to get brainwashed. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I appreciate you for joining. You're the first person to join today. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hi to you also. We shall be talking about the Fulanese. Yeah, said hi. Yeah, Emmanuel, good to see you. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. Please, we shall be looking critically into these Fulani killings, because we cannot continue to be there. They are killing us, and all we do is come on social media and post the pictures and talk about the things that were done. I was listening to one particular video sent to me yesterday, and the man was talking about somebody who was saying they saw a helicopter come around, and then they didn't know it was, they thought it was the Nigerian military, and then they didn't know it were Fulanese. Well, such kinds of reports it's not really. We know that the Nigeria contraption is colluding, is partnering with the Fulanese to do this. So that should not be the focus. The issue should not die at that point. You saw the helicopters, and so what else should be done? Have we looked critically on how are these people able to penetrate our bushes, kill our people, know the roads, know that the outlets, and know our place so much that they could penetrate and do so many things, and yet we don't know what to do, and we cannot even stop them. We cannot even capture them when they come to invade. They can still pass through the communities and leave without being captured. How many bullets are they holding? Even if they have a complete magazine and they fire and fire, and you make them fire so much, at a point it will finish. And then that is the way to capture them. Mazen American, I think, has said something like that before. They can only have the particular magazine they have at a particular time. And before they can reorganize and maybe fix another one, you would have been able to deal with them. But you can create scenes that would help to make them waste the magazines in your community. Set traps and things everywhere that could distract them, and they keep firing. They think that they have human beings around there. Nobody's there, but they keep firing because you know the route, you know where they are going to come in through, and you know the route out, and you know your community is better. Better. So we should adopt strategy. But before we go into that, because we're going to be talking about deep things today, and I'm going to be helping us understand how we can identify these people who are actually within us, giving the information to these Fulani people to fulfill their mission of Islamization, and expanding their ability to do anyhow, talk anyhow, threaten our people, and go scot free. The government is not talking. So, are you thinking by now every Biafran should know that the government will not talk about this matter? In fact, somebody was telling me yesterday that when Tinubu was making an announcement about the whole thing, he was not even mentioning Fulanese. He was just talking about community issues, and that people should learn to live together. You can imagine people bringing weapons. In fact, I was listening to a video of the governor of Benue, and he was still saying that he doesn't support the I think, let me look for that video. He doesn't still adopt. He's not still adopting the self defense, the arming of the people arming themselves and defending themselves against the Fulanis. The governor of Benway was saying this thrash. Now I'm going to play it so that you can listen to it. It was sent to me yesterday. Sorry, I saw it yesterday. On X, and I was shocked that a governor whose people were just killed, of hundreds of people killed, butchered, and even in Enugu, killed. See, How come somebody, I was rubbing minds with somebody the other time, and we were looking at how possible it is that these people could actually penetrate Biafra land when initially, those years back, they couldn't even penetrate our land. In fact, when they try to enter, it is even the land that fights. The land chases them away. But today, they penetrate our land, they get into the land, and they do anything they like. Is it not strange that these kinds of things are happening? That have you ever heard of, them penetrating Akwa Ibom or one of these, coastal region? The coastal region. Have you ever heard them penetrate those places very well? Somebody will say, hey, they have to travel down to. Don't they take their trucks into those places? They can have people going to those places and going to their bushes. Why are they not able to kill and butcher people in those places? Because those people have not gone to the point of abomination as we have gone in our lands. Today we have our people kidnapping and killing our own people. We have our people, ritual killings. Our people. Serious evil is going on in Biafra land. So the land has become empty. The land has become powerless. The protection that is on Biafra has been the protection. No, there is a protection. It has been taken. So we have to fight, we have to struggle. And unless, and it will be very, very critical, very difficult for us to be able to restore the nature of our usual cultural behavior and approach to life. It will be very, very difficult. It will take a resilient decision by the people. And I have told us that it begins with community security guards. It begins, and I'm going to analyze it and speak more on it today, on how we can utilize that to curb the issue and the excesses and the evils going on, so that we can restore the protection of our land. We need to restore the protection of our land. Now listen to this Benue governor. Listen to him.
I should carry. And I think that would make some very good common sense. But where you have people who just decide to wake up because of sentiments and emotions that are attached, to what is happening with us and within us, I think we'll be rendering ourselves a bit more vulnerable. So I wouldn't advocate for self-defense. I would encourage us all to keep calling for community, because it's the only way, it's the only people from within the state and the local government who would understand what is going on with them. I just come to think of it, before now, here in the States.
Now here is the man telling you that he is not supporting, he will not endorse he will not endorse self-defense. The Fulanis are coming personally with AK-47 to his community to kill people. He said the people should not defend themselves. That what he advocates for is community policing, which of course we know that community policing would be under the government. So because he wants to protect his power in his own interest, he wants the security to be under his government so that he could control them the way he wants. He doesn't want the communities and the people to have their own security or defend themselves or buy weapons or get. Where do you see that somebody's coming to me? The person comes to me in the community to kill me. And he said, no, I shouldn't get weapons to defend myself. I should just wait for people who are community police. And the community police cannot be everywhere anytime. So it is when, luckily, they are in my place, they can be here today, and the other side of the community is open. The terrorists go there to kill the people. They can't defend themselves. Then the community police moves to that area also. And then, and then the terrorists come to this other side and kill. And they keep dancing round and round, and I cannot defend myself. Is this what a governor is telling his people? This is absurd. But let's take it step by step. You all have seen what has happened in Enugu. Enugu is Biafra land. Benue also has some part of Biafra land. Biafra land, some parts is connected to Benue, and that is why they just spread us and divide us anyhow. They tell you the coastal region is not Biafra land. They tell you that um, the the hinterland is the Biafra land. That is where Biafra land, the Igbos are from. Igbocha area. It's not Biafra land. The name is Igbocha, and of course, if you go there, you'll hear Rumu this, Rumu that, Rumu this, and all of that. Ikwere people are there and all of that, and they tell you there are no more Igbos because they have been succeeded in dividing them in their minds, and they are doing all of this stuff because they want to reduce the people. They want to reduce the impact of the people and the unity of the people, so that they would not be able to do some stuff for themselves again, so that they will not be united in every front. First of all, I want to go into the issue of the killings. Now, the killings, as I've told you, is not going to be possible if there are no internal people within us who claim to be Biafrans who are helping these people. Now, I'll give you an instance. I used to have a friend, I just cut off from her because of her, insincerity and her um, she's not stable. She told me about how her father married a Fulani woman, having a child. She brought the child into Fulani into a place from Imo State. The man, her father, who is an Igbo man, married. Her grandfather was an imam or a head of a mosque in Biafra land, and I was shocked. She told me, and then she told me how her own father married a Fulani lady who is already having a child for another Fulani man, and that one also gave birth to a boy, a man, for her father. And before the woman died, the Fulani woman died, her father now married a Biafran, and that Biafran also gave birth to the rest of the children, who are they're about six, about 7 or 8 also. And then this Fulani boy is the first son of their father, who is the first son of their father who married a Fulani woman from a Fulani woman. So the first son of their father from a Fulani woman is claiming to be to have possession of properties and the things that the property of their father. In fact, the house that, because their father is late now, the house that their father left, the guy is claiming he's the one in charge because he is the first son, even though he's from a Fulani woman. Now, this is an instance of how many of our families, and she said that in their family like that, in their community like that, they have so many women, so many Fulani children, whether from a Fulani man impregnating the woman, you know, and or a Fulani woman giving birth to a child for a Biafran. And so most of the decision making in their community is taken by these people who are from Fulani mothers or Fulani fathers in their community. So, what do you expect? The decisions that will be taken would critically be of or critically be of the interest of their father's place or the sentiment of their mother's place. And so they believe, since they know that they are from Fulani lineage, the blood is there, the DNA is there. So it will make them to begin to think of having a total Fulani, because it is strong. That Fulani DNA for evil is so strong because they hear the words from their mothers, they hear the words from their father, and it is easy for people to adopt or accept to be violent, or easy to be influenced for evil than to be influenced for good. We all know that. That is why it is easy for evil to spread, because it is easier for evil to spread faster, because the human nature actually love to do evil to benefit himself rather than others. And it is only in the context of trying to do evil that you can always, or it is only in the context of trying to benefit self, that you can always have evil show up. Because when issues are about self, which of course we have this selfish nature, including animals, there's this selfish nature, and because of that selfish nature, I want to do some things for myself, I want to get some things for myself, I want to achieve this. You don't care about the next person, and so that evil tendency becomes very easy to actually inhabit, or to walk in, or to allow to control your emotion or control you. And that is what we're finding now. Most of the decision making in our communities, the Fulanis are involved, because some of them, their children are Fulanis, or some of these Biafrans, their children are from a Fulani mother, or some of these women, their children are from Fulani fathers. And so they have infiltrated our community so much that they are part of decisions, and they know the terrain very, very well. And because, of course, what the Fulanis do is they know how to penetrate their people and indoctrinate them. So most of these children born of Fulani mothers or fathers in our communities are actually connected to the information they get from their people coming from the Sahel, telling them, of course, because the nature of human is religious, telling them that God, who is their Allah, has given them the land. So they would have to fight. And when they tell them the result or the benefits of fighting for Allah, they tell them about 72 virgins, tell them about so many wine, drinkings, enjoyment in heaven. And if they join in fighting for Allah, they are going to get these things. Who doesn't want to have 72 ladies who are virgins for himself? They imagine those things and they see it as a very, very lucrative adventure or business to engage in. And then you see them planning with their brothers from the Sahel and killing our people. Now, first of all, we must understand that there are people within us who are actually from Fulani fathers and Fulani mothers who are carrying out or who are spies for these people carrying out these deadly killings in our community. Now remember, the first thing is that we have broken the edge. In Biafra land today, you see many sacrifices, human sacrifices. I'm telling you, by the politicians, by some business people, top names you know in the society, carrying out human sacrifices, killing, and there is abomination in the land so that the land is no more able to protect us. And that is the truth. Those days, before the early 90s, early years, around 1900s and all of that, 19 before the colonial masters came, and even after they came to an extent, there were no killings, ritual killings, killing of human beings for sacrifice. In fact, if you try it, there are some things that will happen to you and you can never believe your eyes. There were no evils like this as we find in today's world. We had no evil being carried out as we see it today. In fact, injustice was rare because there was protection, and the God of Biafra was protecting each community based on the uprightness of our people and the obedience to the laws and the rules of God that has been imposed on us, which of course we are following to the later. Then suddenly, the British came. People began to corrupt their beliefs. They began to adhere to the British corruption. They began to allow themselves to be used. And then till today, in fact, today we have the highest killings in the contraption Nigeria is from Biafra land. The highest ritual killings, so heavy in Biafra land, so heavy also in Oduduwa. That is why you see that Fulanis have penetrated these two sides, the core Biafra land, which is the Igbo side, the core sides, and of course some parts, going to the place of Akwa Ibom and other places are not really being affected this way, because if it's hard for you to hear from somebody from Akwa Ibom who is into ritual killings, or who's those sacrilege, those evils are not too entrenched in the system in those places. But when you come to the Igbo place, the Igbo land, it's ritual killings is so rampant. Human trafficking, we traffic our people. If you go to some parts of West Africa, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Ivory Coast and other places, Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire or other places, Sierra Leone and all those places, in Black African nation and other parts of the world, you will see that many of our brothers who are in those places, some of them are of Fulani blood. They come to the village, promise the parents of these little girls or some of these boys that they have jobs and some stuff to give them or to help them get in foreign land, and they take these girls 15 years, 14 years, 13 years, 16 years, and like that, take them to these lands, and then they put them into the way of prostitution, child trafficking, and abuse. There are so many of them in this area where I am, so many of them. And we are saying, as my NGO, we are trying to see how we can create programs that will help to bring these ones back and send them back to our land, or create jobs for them to do legitimately. Some of them have been so deep into the thing that it is now part of them, that if you want to tell them to stop, prostitution and that trafficking stuff they have put in them, they would not be able to stop it. In fact, some of them have become masters now. They are now the ones going to bring people under them, serving under them. Some of them serve under these people for a while. Some of them are used for ritual killings. Serious evil is going on, and all of this stuff, some of them from our people who have decided to go evil and using that evil against our people. And so these are the things that are happening. And that is why today in Biafra land, you would find a situation where Fulani can invade anywhere and nothing happens. They can even come to a shrine and everywhere, destroy everything, even kill anybody, do anything, and nothing will happen. Nothing. But it was going to happen in those days. Like that. That should tell you that something is wrong somewhere. That it should tell you that something is wrong somewhere. Because if they can come in and just kill like that and go away, something is wrong somewhere. Number two, as I told you, we have those of Fulani blood, whether their mother a Fulani or their father Fulani in Biafra land. And they take part of they are part of decision making, because whenever there is youth meeting or elders meeting, they are part of it. So they understand the workings, the plans of those communities. This is very, very dangerous. And you know one interesting thing, you begin to wonder how these Fulanis are so, so sensitive and so professional than even us that claim to be knowledgeable and intelligent. They know how to spy very well. They have been taught the concept of spying. You should understand that the four walls of any academic knowledge or education is not intelligence. And because we think that we are intelligent, we actually, you know, we actually refuse to walk in the dictates of real thinking. We walk with the dictates of financial intelligence, doing businesses and making money, how to strategize and make money. That is where we limit our own intelligence. And on the academic session, you go to school, you go to the university, then you come and start working in a bank. You go to World Bank and work, you go to IMF and work, or you go to one international agency and begin to work, or you open one medical stuff and all of that. That is where our intelligence stops. The intelligence that is exuded in daily living or strategically thinking outside the box is not there. But the Fulanis are taught in that intelligence in their Quran to think outside the box and strategize on how to take your thing and take what belongs to you. So they are professionally designed to work against you that is thinking of progress. And you are only thinking of progress without thinking of the weakness or the limitations or the risks that come with planning to be successful. The only risk that we're thinking of is the financial risk. Oh, how do I don't lose my money? Or how I can make more money? How I can build more businesses? And that is what is making us go into different killings, ritual killings, and several evils and vices in our communities today that the God of Biafra has hands off, and we are finding it very, very dangerous. Please like this video and share it on all your social media platforms, and please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. We need to send this message far and wide. Now, because of this, there's another third set of people, because I've given us two points that has made our land very vulnerable. Now, the number 3 point is those Fulanis and those Hausas who have come into our communities, and all they are doing is iron condemn, iron condemn, or buying of things or picking of things around. These are spies. These guys are spies. These three sets of people must be defeated. Now, let me tell you how we're going to do this and get these people defeated. First of all, you must understand that intelligence is very important in the sustenance of a community or a people or a nation. And that's why you see Israel succeeding in what they are doing in their campaign against Iran, because their intelligence was so unique, is so unique, that they fund intelligence and invest in intelligence so much so that they could actually penetrate. You saw yesterday, President Trump was saying that they know where the leader of Iran is, that they don't want to kill him, at least for now. They know where he is. So, but he should come to a deal. He should just an unconditional surrender. That's what they want from him. And who knows, they might change their mind and kill him if he doesn't adhere to that point. Now, you must understand that intelligence, if you don't invest in intelligence, you would be messed up. Now, let me tell you how we're going to invest in intelligence in the communities in Biafra land. First of all, we must You see, the problem we have in Biafra is that we don't like progress of other people's children. When it comes to the point of bringing out resources and help other people's children to grow or to see that other people are progressing, we fight against them. In fact, we can go to juju to stop people's progress, but we cannot go to juju to fight against the external enemies coming in. We are always thinking of self. If it's not me that is growing or succeeding, if it is not my child that is growing or succeeding, let nobody succeed. That is the mindset, and it's a crude and shrewd and evil mindset that is eating us up. Now, let me tell you the first thing. We must first love ourselves, number one. We must first begin to understand that the nation of Biafra, our communities, we are one. We are the only ones who can live together, because the people who are after us are evil and they want to kill us. But of course, we understand ourselves as coming from the same ancestry, so we know that we need to keep ourselves together. So the first thing we need to do is to love ourselves. Number 2 point is this: in our midst, in the communities, we must select intelligent people without bias. For the community, for the whole of our communities, every community, select intelligent people. Then what you will do is this: you will train them in Arabic and in Hausa language. Let the communities pay to train them. I'm talking about speaking core Biafrans. Now, this must not be done on the platform of the general meetings where people who were born of Fulani blood and other people will come together. This should not be. It should be a hidden agenda, just like what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did to institute ESN. Even if we had the cabinets of IPOB and the structure and the leaders of IPOB, not most of them didn't know that ESN program was going on. It was only few that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu believed in that were brought into the system. The same way also in that community, even if we do have general meetings, youth meetings, and all of that, and elders meeting, and all those all those meetings, this plan should not be on the platform of that meeting. Few people in the leadership, in the elders forum, in the youth forum, who are pure Biafrans in blood, mother side and father side, not from Fulanis or any other side, but not Fulani, whether mother or father side, from Biafra, but not of Fulani. Anyone that is of Fulani in Hausa, don't include them. Or even from the middle belt, don't even include them. Those ones whose parents are purely, sometimes if you have the one that their parents are from Oduduwa who are Muslims, don't even include them. But it is safer to get pure Biafrans and then have a unique meeting, making it secret as it was for ESN, getting intelligent youths in your community that are pure Biafrans, that are not biased, that you can vouch for to an extent, and that that are intelligent and that you can trust. Train them, contribute money, let the community contribute money. Few of you can contribute money. Important, get to people you trust in the communities, they contribute money. Let them understand your plan. You train these boys or these men in Hausa language and Arabic. Let them be trained. 3 months, they can grab the knowledge very well. They can learn to twist their tongue and speak the way they speak very well. And then the next point is they begin to penetrate the Hausa community and the Fulani community. All those guys who are doing iron condemn, they begin to make friends with them. This is intelligence I'm talking about here. They begin to make friends with them. They begin to bring, and I talk about many things about Fulani, about Hausas. They begin to talk about things about and those ones too. Once they see that you speak their language, and they are able to tell them that they are able to tell them that they are from one part of Hausa land. They mention one place and mention it very well, making sure that they have knowledge about that particular place in Hausa land very well. They now begin to make friends with these Fulanis in our midst. Those ones who are picking who are talking about iron condemn and picking refuse and picking things that they are going to sell. Make friends with them and then begin to speak this Hausa and make them believe in them, and then stylishly begin to get information from them and telling them that you see this land, behave like a Muslim. Go to their mosque, pray with them, make friends with them, and then begin to stylishly get information about how they can conquer Biafra land and what they are planning, the plans are, and what they need to do, and the things they need to. And then before you know it, you'll start getting information from them about their plans and their strategies. Of course, at that point, you have known that this man who is doing Ebola or who is doing Iron Condemn is a spy. So from then, you have already gotten him to know if he's a spy or not. And then from him, you begin to access the real core place where these plans are going on. And you are sending the intel to the right place. The community security team. You already built a community security team and an intelligence team. They begin to work hand in hand. You use the information getting from all these guys, going to the security team, and they are now using it, strategizing on how to deal with the matter. Because from the information you receive, you'll know where the weapons are, you'll know where the things they have put together and the plans they have for Biafra land are, and then you know where the camp is, and you know where they are storing these weapons from, in the lands or in the places they occupy, where people like Ojos or Kalu and other governors have sold to them to live and make their communities. You will now know what is in those places, and to attack those places, you must know the strength of those places. And the invasion of those places must be massive and carried out randomly, like what Israel did. So that when you are able to penetrate and get the evidences, the world will now see the evidences. The Nigerian military will not be able to do anything again, because you have taken them unawares, and they will not be able to say anything because evidences are there. The weapons exposed, everything they have, where they store their weapons, where they store their supplies, you already see them there, and you can now expose them. Let me tell you something. If we don't go radically, basically, and radically grassroots, and security, we will not be able to defeat this Fulanisation and this project that has come to us. We will not be able to break the edge of the Fulanis. We will not be able to penetrate them. And you must understand that we must take it from the scratch. We must take it from the basic points. We must take it from the root. We must not rush things, just get some men. Look at what that governor is saying. His people are being killed in Benue. Look at what he's saying. He's talking about community policing. What will community police do? They will just move around and collect bribes, as long as they are under the government. Anything created under the contraption of Nigeria, or under the governance or government of Nigeria, is only meant to enrich and to make money. So the community police that will be brought into this matter would only be talking about their purse and their pockets. They would only be working towards making money for themselves and their bosses. So when you bring some people and put them under the government as community police, they know that their bosses are in the offices eating money. Their bosses also have told them to extort the people and make money from them. All they will do that in the community, they will begin to look for issues, look for who is fighting, who is doing this, who is doing that, capture him, extort money from him, begin to commit so many crimes. But when you have the community bringing up their security team together and planning well for them, first of all, training them in the Hausa and Fulani language, or Hausa language, and the Arabic and Hausa language, making them conversant with a particular area in the north, where they can be able to make these ones, the Hausa people within, or the Fulanis within them, who are doing this iron condemn and all the stuff they are doing, where they will be able to make them that is where they are from. And then also getting on and aligning with their religion, making them understand they just came from that place now and they are in Biafra land, and their mission is to fight for Allah, and join forces with these people. They will begin to get information from all this iron condemn and all these ones selling in kiosks and guarding many houses around and in their communities, where they are their ladies, their ladies, and all of that. Penetrate them, penetrate their mosque, go to their prayer, go for their prayers, and have the information. You begin to see that our intel will be top notch. Top notch. But what are we seeing today? What we are seeing today is like we have not started at all. Ever since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, an extraordinary rendition, it is like we have not started at all. It is like we are just, we don't know where we are, what we are doing. All others are doing online is to collect money from people and extort them and claim to have restored or to declare independence, or claim to one thing or the other. The ones on the DOS claim they keep collecting money, so you don't even know what they are using it for. For the past 4 years, you'll be wondering what they have been doing, and you begin to wonder what is really going on. after the creation of ESN, by now, by now, if these people were truthful, if the DOS members were truthful, and Simon and Co were truthful, if they are all truthful, by now you know where ESN would have gone. Because Mazin Namdekano brought ESN to a standard. It became a source of fear for the Nigeria contraption, so that they went after Mazin Namdekano, because they know that the people working with Mazin Namdekano are not sincere. So they believe that getting Mazin Namdekano will end everything. That's what the Nigerian government believed. You think they targeted Mazin Namdekano for nothing? They know, just like what is happening in Iran today. Did you know that they are talking about targeting the leader of Iran because they feel that the majority of the people are not with Iran's leadership? Based on the fact that there was a time, when this lady, Hamani, that lady that was killed in 2023, September or so, between September and November, when there was this protest and lots of people were killed on the way. People have been angry with the leadership of Iran, and the West know. So now they are cashing on it to deal with the leadership of Iran, because they know that the people are not interested in the leadership. And that is why today they are talking about regime change in Iran. Once the people know, once people are involved, once people know, you discover that once the people are involved, they can easily deal with matters for themselves. So you must understand this in that perspective. We need to come to the point of coming together and doing what we have to do for ourselves. We must understand that penetrating these people is very, very crucial. This is how we're going to get our intelligence on where to strike and where to get to do what we need to do to deal with this situation. Because let me tell you something, you see all those guys moving, I don't condemn and all of that. Every Fulani and Hausa in Biafra land has a dagger by their side. They have a dagger by their side. Then their terrorists have their AK-47 inside of Biafra land. And the governors are saying that they don't want you to be armed. So what do? Now you arm yourself privately without their involvement. Then you build your security team, have the intelligence part of it that goes to get information directly from these Fulanis. They will release it once they see that you are their key person, or you are part of their system, or they believe you are from them. After the training you give to the boys or the men, you train them in Hausa language and in Arabic. Fund it, pay that they be trained. They can be trained online. You fund a class for them online, or they can be trained using somebody who has lived in Biafra land, in the north before, and who is in Biafra land, who understands it, bringing them together to train them on how to speak it. My father speaks Hausa very well. My father speaks Hausa very well because he lived among them. He speaks it very, very well. There are some people within Biafra land that speak Hausa very well. I think my father has started forgetting it because he's no more communicating with them. He's now in Biafra land, so I think he doesn't, unless he sees some of them. Sometimes he just speak one, two things. I think he still knows it anyways. But there are people who speak fluently. You get them. You contract them, and they teach people from those intelligence units in Biafra land, and they understand it, and then let them understand and know a particular area, whether in Gombe, whether in Sokoto, one area, and understand the terrain, to know, so that when they are talking with these Fulanis, they will make them understand they are from this local government and this village from Sokoto, they are from this local government from this village in Gombe, they are from this local government in this village from Bauchi, or all of that, so that they will now believe, wow, this is our brother, and they will make them understand they are just coming into Biafra land, and they are sent here by the leadership to make sure that they come to fulfill what Allah has promised them, to claim the land of Biafra and all of that. You see that these boys who are doing iron condemn and all that will begin to get used to them and begin to believe in them and begin to give them information about what they are doing and all of that. And then they also begin to worship in their mosques, begin to make friends with their imams and their leaders and all of that, and they keep talking about this whole thing and making them understand this whole thing, and then before you know it, they get so much intelligence. Then they can plan with that intelligence, each community understanding that if they need to link with another community in Biafra land, they link with those communities. If there's a need for a larger attack and a larger push into the community where these Fulanis live and strategically getting them and dealing with them. You expand, get more communities together, they plan together and they plan the attack and making sure that they know where the weapons are, they know where the terrorists are, they know where their charms are, they know where they have put everything from the knowledge. And in fact, those intelligence guys can even be living in their community, living with them there without them knowing that these ones are spies. We must be professional in our communities. We are educated. We went to school abroad. Some of us went to school abroad. Some of us, are well educated, fast in so many things. Some of us are even in military. We claim all over the world. We are in America. We are veterans of America, Army, this Navy, and all of that. We seem to like titles, but we don't know how to utilize those titles in regular living or in the activities that have to do with our lives daily. But we want to be on the position of title. Yes, I am this. Yes, I am that. We want to claim what we are, trying to make everybody believe what we are. But we are not looking at how we can exude these things on the grassroots level to be able to get results for our people and for ourselves and for the whole of Biafra land. It is important and crucial that we go this way. I decided to focus on this today so that we can understand what it means and how we can deal with this malaise that is before us and this quagmire that is before us right now. As I tell you now, Biafra land is like in a calaboose. It's in a jail. We're like locked up. We don't know where the next attack will come from. And if we are not careful, let me tell you something. As I was saying initially, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu represents the voice of Biafra. Now, if these people were very, very serious, the so-called Chinanza and all those ones who are leading on the DOS platform, and if Simon's group and co are so serious, you will discover that by now, by now, in a common interest, they would have come together for the security of Biafra land. If it is not about what they gain for themselves and the money they gain for themselves, so they need to fight each other. This one need to talk against this one, that one need to talk against that one because they want the money to come to their own side, and this one want the money to come to their own side. So everybody want the money to come to their own side so that they can get the money for themselves. It is not about Biafra. If it's about Biafra, they would have come together by now. We have a common enemy, the Fulanis and the houses. They are attacking us. They are killing our people. They are destroying our properties. They are butchering our people. We need to step in right now. Okay, let's have a common fund platform. Let's come together, raise funds, together, and see how we can solve this. Then let's work together until Mazen and Mekan is out. Then we can know who is who and what is what and all of that. And then we deal with these matters. Now, this is what is supposed to happen. By now, ESN on the level it is would have gone further because ESN has already been brought to a level by Mazen and Mekan. But since these people took over, it is plummeted. It has gone down, and we have gone over 60% backwards. We are still struggling. We don't know what we're doing. It's like the early days of IPOB where all they do is have family meetings, but there is no strong and cogent and powerful, approach to doing things and no plan. Plans are there, but the plans are not going to work because Mazin Amkan is not around. Until we come to that point of understanding that we have dropped ESN, and ESN was a terror to the Nigeria contraption. ESN was a terror to them. And that was why they came after Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And okay, this was what I was saying initially. Let me complete it. They came after Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they understood by interaction that most of the people working with him were actually for money. They were not really sincere. Let me tell you, the Nigerian contraption and the British have their own intelligence. They discuss with these people they don't know. So they know their hearts. They know that most of them are for money. They know that most of these people on DOS are for money. Most of these people who are leading one continental rep or the other, or representative state rep and all of that, most of them are for money. So they understood that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is the only one who is rugged because they have tested him and tried to force him, beaten him, tortured him. He's not changing. But the other ones seem to be easy praise. They could be manipulated. So they have understood that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is standing alone. That is why they came for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They came for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they believe he is standing alone. Their intel have told them, have made them understand that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is standing alone. The British intel, the zoo intel, they have penetrated most of these DOS members and most of the leaders in different countries. They know that these people are just there to make money for themselves and to sit on titles, and so they know that it is only Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that is resolute and standing strong. So that is why they decided to take him. If they didn't knew if they know or if they discovered that everybody on the leadership platform is standing with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and is rugged and is able to die for this Biafra cause, they would not have taken Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm telling you, because taking him makes no sense. Because when you take him, other people are resolute and strong and firm then. That was why they planned to make sure, first of all, they killed those who are resolute around Mazi Nnamdi Kanu first. They used members of the DOS and some leadership members, some members of the DOS, not all of them. They use some of them to keep people like a council and other people who are strongly behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They made sure they used them to eliminate those ones first before now they went for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because they know that if these ones are still living, people like Ikonso and other people are still living, the capture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will tear down the zoo. They know that. So what they did first, just like what Iran did, they first of all went. I mean, what Israel did. They first of all went for Hamas, dealt with Hamas, dealt with Hezbollah, dealt with the Houthis, and then weakened the proxies that Iran uses as a means of the strength around Israel, and then now they can attack Iran directly. So after dealing with Hamas, dealing with Hezbollah, dealing with the Houthis, they can now attack Iran directly. You can see the narrative. That is why when you heard Consul was killed, it was which most of us were not thinking then, because we didn't understand that they were trying to take down those who are strong people around Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They made sure they killed most of these people who believe strongly in Biafra and who are solidly behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They knew that if they touch Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, these ones would create a chaos and destabilize the zoo and destroy it. So what they did was to take them down first. After taking them down, they left people, other ones who are just there for money. They, of course, they have settled those ones. They actually used those ones to kill these strong men. And then after that, they now captured Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Did you discover that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was captured, nothing happened? No information went around. Nothing even happened. And even when the information came in, everybody was just there. People were just making noise on social media, and because they want to feel like they are strong and they are talking, And then when the people began to look up to them, all they decided to do is to cash out from it. Today they are cashing out, manipulating people here and there. Everyone trying to have his own group. This one comes and says, "I have banned IPOB. IPOB is no more existent." Later, when I start talking about it, it's okay. I've banned IPOB in Nigeria. No more ESN. What we have now is BRF or whatever they call it, or whatever name, BL, whatever they call them, selves and all of that. And then they give themselves, because it has to be with their narrative, so that it would be that they are the ones directly in control now and doing all of that. And all they do is give a few guys weapons somewhere, buy them weapons, and then begin to give them money every time to make videos forward to you. Go relay two policemen who are sitting in a vehicle somewhere and kill them and come to tell you that's water, and they are dealing with the Nigerian contraption and all of that. Is that if you are really dealing with a country and dealing with people, it is not something that would just look like nothing had happened. By now you would have been facing the barracks. By now the barracks in your territory area will not be existing. That's the truth. It wouldn't be existing. But now look at what is happening. They took down the strong men around Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people like the council and some other people who were taken down, so that they would be able to take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That was why when we started the accountability and transparency group, I said that all we need to do, we don't need to appoint one person as a leader. All we need to do is that we have a committee of people working towards the interest of Biafra, having the strong mind of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that when they see what accountability and transparency group is doing, they'll believe that keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there is a waste of time. So they have to release him. If they don't release him, they know that there is a plan on ground that would come against Nigeria, that would destabilize Nigeria to the point that he will be released. But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was taken, you discover what did happen. What did the DOS do? All they did was holding meetings, and this one will be arguing. This one told me this, that one told me this one told me that. If this one told you this, and that one told you this, and the other one told you that, why not set up a fact-finding committee that is independent, that will look at all the toldings and all the tellings, and look at all the information and the exhibits and the the witnesses and all of that, all the information that surrounds the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And then let us have the facts, so that we know those who are within, who are working for the enemies. But today, look at it. Everything about ESN is like just one community group somewhere, set up. Everything has gone down. Nothing is working. But ESN brought Biafra land to a standard when Mazinam Khan created it, and now it has dropped. And that is why I'm saying now we have to go. If you didn't listen to this broadcast from beginning, please go from beginning and get the facts and the information from the details of what I am talking about here. This is how we have to deal with this matter, and you will see that in each community will be formidable enough, and Fulani will fear, and then they will discover that even keeping Mazinam Khan there is a waste of time, because even the people know what to do. They know that we know what to do. So keeping Mazinam Kanu there is a waste of time. These are the things we should be doing. These are the things. And you can't do this without loving one another in our communities. We can't do this without coming together in our communities. So many communities they are just fighting against one another. They can land fight, hatred. They don't want this family to grow. They don't want that one to grow. They don't want success for this one and that one. We need to drop all those mess and face our lives together. I choose to talk about this today because it's very, very important. Look at what is happening in Enugu. For God's sake, Enugu, a very formidable place of Igbo land. And these kinds of things are happening, these kinds of killings are happening, and everybody's quiet, and we're just looking, we're not thinking of community. We're not looking at how we're going to strengthen our community. We're not looking at how we're going to strengthen our intelligence in the communities and all of that. We need to do these things. These Fulanis have penetrated our bushes. They are massively in the bushes and they are planning massive attacks. We must understand these things. And the more the earlier we take action, the better for us. Because we are still joking and looking at things trivial. All we do is wake up every morning, want to go to work, get money, make money, buy car, eat, marry, get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, have sex and do so many things, and then keep working, get children, and then later we get old and then we die, and then the next generation continues in the suffering, in the captivity, and we are there and wasting our times, and then we become ancestors who have failed, and then people will begin to worship us as ancestors. Because that's what most people are doing in Biafra land today. They tell our ancestors, our ancestors. They don't know that ancestors are people like you who were living like you now, who made their mistakes. Some of them sold you to captivity. You don't even know the one that sold you to captivity, yet you are worshiping them. You don't know which of them betrayed your fathers, your great grandfathers, or which of them killed your great grandfathers or great 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 grandfathers. They are all ancestors. They are all there. You don't have information about their existence and their living. You don't know what they did in their time of life because they are human beings. They cannot be God. Ancestors are not God. They are not God. They are only humans who have died and maybe their spirit somewhere else. So ancestors are not what we should be talking about right now. We should be talking about Chukwokike coming now to take, because most of our ancestors were practically involved in dealing with our communities. Look at most of them betraying and making sure that Ojukwu failed. Many of them, many things have happened. So those of you whose job is to worship ancestors, I have to our ancestors. I do this. The ancestor you are pouring libation to, do you know what he did when he was alive, or she did? Do you know how they betrayed you? Do you know how they worked for you? Do you know how they worked against you? Do you know the one that worked against you and the one that worked for you? Do you understand all of this stuff? That is why you can't worship a man. You have to worship God, because God is the only one who is perfect and who is ultimately ever present to do things for us. I want to thank you guys. Please, I want you to share this broadcast on all your social media platforms. I'm in the office, so I need to work, and I know that you also are busy also, and some people will watch later. Please share on all your social media platforms, and please like this video. When you like it, it prompts the people who are your friends and your followers on social media to see the video and watch. But when you share, it goes further also directly to people. And when you subscribe to this channel, you will help them to get YouTube to be aware of this channel more, because the more the subscription, the more YouTube shares the content of this video and the channel also for people to come in and see what is happening. We need to spread the truth, and it is in our hands collectively to spread the truth. I want to appreciate you. Please keep this working and keep the truth going. This is Truth Channel Network. My name is Kelechi Ambrose, and please, we shall see again, hopefully tomorrow also. Thank you so much. And if it is going to be tomorrow, it's going to be same time, 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. Biafra time. I want to thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and please stay safe, and let's put everything into practice. Call people in the community, in your communities, in your villages, give them this idea, and let's put all of these things into practice so that we can get results. I want to appreciate you guys, because Biafra land must be safe, and it's in our hands to keep it safe. It's not in the hands of the ancestors. It's in our hands, because we are future ancestors who must do things right now so that the next generation, which are going to be the ancestors later, would enjoy the benefits and and sit on our progress, to improve on our progress, and to improve on our successes. Without our success today, they will be struggling to build a success platform. But if we have success platform now, they will struggle to build the next level of success platform, and which will keep our progress continually and persistently and moving higher and continuously as it should be. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Please stay good, stay safe, and God bless you. Very good.